Good morning. Today we will start with switching function properties. We have talked about switching functions. Switching function means, let's say you can use letter F or T, doesn't matter, f of x a comma b comma c, where f is switching function. It has three Boolean variables. What are they? A, B, C. That is called switching function. You may call it as a Boolean function also. And today we will understand the concept called minterm and maxterm, which are used in building digital circuits from the problem, direct problem, or from the truth table. This is the method that we follow. First, there is a problem, we transform the problem into truth table. That is the very first step in the designing digital circuits. Once we have truth table, then we obtain the required expression from the truth table. That can be done by using canonical forms. That is the second step. And in the third step, we simplify it by using Karnaugh maps or the simplification methods that we have discussed already. And in the fourth stage, we implement the Boolean expression that results after simplification. So what we are doing is, we are seeing this is a sub-step in canonical form, building up canonical forms. So we have the following terminology called minterm and maxterm. Now what is, before we talk about minterms and maxterms, let's see what is a literal. Literal, it is terminology. For a switching function, a literal is defined as a variable in uncomplemented or complemented form. It is nothing but a variable present in complemented form or uncomplemented form. For example, x is variable, so you can say x is a literal. Y is a variable, but here y is presented in complemented form. Here x is in uncomplemented form. Any Boolean variable, it is a single variable, not like xy. Xy, according to the definition of literal, xy is not a literal. So x is literal, it is in uncomplemented form. There is no complement here. Y bar is a literal, it is in complemented form. X bar is also literal, it is in complemented form. Doesn't matter, there should be single variable. It can be in complemented or uncomplemented form, etc. Now consider this Boolean expression. It is a Boolean function or Boolean expression. It is having a b bar c plus a d bar. And in this, a is one literal, not this whole thing. A b bar c is not literal, but if we consider a alone, that is one literal, b bar is another literal, c is another literal. So totally in this expression, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 literals in this expression. Now let's see. And now in these two steps, we define minterm and also the maxterm. Consider an n variable switching function. This is the switching function. This is how we represent the switching function. F of x1 comma x2 comma dash dash xn means f is a switching function that is using n Boolean variables. What are they? x1, x2 up to xn. So totally there are n number of variables which are used in the function f. Means for example, f of x1 comma x2 comma x3, let's say f is a 3 variable boolean function or 3 variable switching function. F of x1 comma x2 comma x3 equal to x1 x2 x3 plus x1 x2, like that. Now see, this is the definition given to minterm. A product term, product means in Boolean algebra or in switching algebra, what does the product refers to? It refers to AND operation. So a product term, that is an AND operation of all the n literals. All the n literals. N means we have already said f is a switching function with how many literals present here? N literals. N literals is called min term. So how it is defined? A product term of all the n literals. Of all the n literals is called min term. In the same way, a sum term, that is what sum term refers to? OR operation. A sum term of all the n literals is called max term. Let's see some examples, then we understand better what min term is, what a max term is. Now see, here we have given some examples. This is the function. Let's consider a function, Boolean function or switching function with 3 variables. How many variables, switching variables are used here? 3. They are A, B and C. Now here we are writing down the min terms. So A, B, C. Now if you consider this term A, B, C, it is containing all the literals. So f is a function containing how many literals? 3 literals. What are they? A, B, C. A, B, C. So this term, if you consider this term, it is having all the literals of the function f, all the variables of the function f. So ABC is one min term. And also remember, the definition given to the min term is the product term, right? A product term of all the n literals. A product term of all the n literals. So it is a product term, A into B into C. Although there is no dot, dot is implied here. A, B, C, it is product term only. It is AND operation of A, B, C. Right? A product term which is containing all the literals. Now see, either in complemented or uncomplemented form, doesn't matter. Literal means it can be complemented or uncomplemented, doesn't matter. So there is another example. It is also one term containing A literal. It is in complemented form. B, it is another literal which is in uncomplemented form. C, which is also in uncomplemented form. It is a product term. It is a product term means it is satisfying the definition of min term. So it is a min term. In the same way, A, B bar, C bar, A bar, B bar, C bar. These are some examples. For a 3 variable function, if there are 3 variable function f, how many min terms are possible? 8 min terms, 2 power 3. You can write A, B, C, A bar, B, C, A, B bar, C bar, like that. You can write all the combinations, then you will get 8 combinations. These are the only possible combinations that this many min terms are possible for that given 3 variable Boolean function. Now let's see, let's take another example. Now consider this just AB. AB, is it a product? Of course it is a product term, but is it having all the literals of the function? The function is having how many literals? ABC. How many variables? ABC. Is this term having all the variables, all the literals? No, C is missing here. So AB, this term is not a min term. In the same way, A bar C, of course A bar is a literal, right? C is another literal, right? But B is missing here. So A bar C is also not a min term. So these are the examples. Next, max term. Now these are the examples. Max term. What is the definition given to max term? A sum term. For min terms, it is a product term. For max terms, it is a sum terms. Sum terms of all the n literals is called max term. Sum term means OR operation. A plus B bar plus C. Consider the same function with 3 variables. Means there are 3 variables which are used in the function f. There is no D, there is no E and so on. These are the only variables that are used in framing the function. Let's say Boolean function or switching function. Now consider this a plus b bar plus c. Now it is a sum term or product term? It is a sum term, right? A plus b bar plus c. Is it having all the literals? Yes. A is in uncomplemented form, b is in complemented form, c is in uncomplemented form. So it is having all the literals and it is a sum term. So it is max term. Another example, there are a literal, b literal, c literal. A is in complemented form, b is in complemented form, c is in complemented form. There are all the literals in this sum term. So there is also a max term. And this one is also a max term because all the literals are present in this sum term. Now consider this sum term. Of course, this is a sum term. There is A, there is C, B is missing. So it is not max term according to the definition. And what is missing here? A is in complemented form, B is in uncomplemented form, but C is missing. Of course, there is a sum term, but C is missing. So therefore, it is not a max term. I hope you understood what min term and what max term is. Let's read the definitions again. See if you have any doubt, we can clarify here. A product term means like this, A, B, C, A bar, B bar, C. What operation is between these literals? AND operation. A product term, that is AND operation, of all the end literals is called min term. A sum term means between the literals, the operation performed is OR operation, addition operation. The sum term of all the n terms. The sum term should contain all the literals, then only it becomes max term, not otherwise, right? That is min term and max term. Now let's see. There is unique property for min term and max term. Properties of min terms and max terms. Now let's see what are those properties. A min term assumes a value 1. A min term assumes it takes a value 1 for exactly one combination of variables. Let's say there are 3 variables. How many combination of inputs possible? 8 combinations. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, like that. 8 input combinations possible for 3 variables. Out of these 8 combinations, a min term will have 1. For only one combination, a min term will have only one. A min term will have value 1 only for one combination. For the rest of the 7 combinations, its value becomes 0. We will see some examples. In the same way, a max term takes the value 0. A max term will get the value 0 for exactly one combination of variables. Out of 8 combinations, a max term will have 0 only for one combination. For rest of the 7 combinations, it will have 1. 7 combinations yields 1 for the max term, whereas only one particular combination produces 0. Whereas a min term will have a value 1 only for one combination out of 8 combinations. For the rest of 7 combinations, it will have value 0. Let's see, is it indeed true? Now see, let's understand this with some examples. This is the function f with 3 variables. F is a function with 3 variables, and we have written the function here. The function is a b bar c plus a b c bar plus a b c. Now this term, is it a min term or max term? Now can you answer, is it a min term or max term? It is a min term because it is a product term or sum term. It is a product term. This one is also a product term. So this one is also a product term. Okay, each of these terms here in this expression are product terms. So, and this term is having all the variables of the function. F is a function of 3 variables. It is having all the literals. it is having A, it is also having B, it is also having C. Of course, A is in uncomplemented form, B in complemented form, C in uncomplemented form. Doesn't matter in which form the literal appears, it should be having all the literals. The term should be having all the literals. So this is one min term. There is another min term, it is having all the literals. There is another min term, it is having all the literals. So there are three min terms. Now see, for A equal to 1, for which combination? For A equal to 1, B equal to 0, C equal to 1. For this combination, for A equal to 1, B equal to 0, for C equal to 1. For this combination, what is the value that it takes, that this min term takes? For A equal to 1 means 1 here. For B 0 means B complement becomes 1. A 1, B complement also 1. C equal to 1. So 1 into 1 dot 1 dot 1. What is 1 dot 1 dot 1? 1. So for A equal to 1, B equal to 0, C equal to 1. For this combination, input combination, out of 8, for this particular combination, A1, B0, C1, this min term will have value 1. If we consider any combination, any other combination other than this written here, if we consider a combination other than this A1, B0, C1, for rest of the 7 combinations, this min term will have a value 0. Only for this particular combination, only for one combination, that is this combination, this min term will have 1. For rest of the 7 combinations, for all the 7 combinations, this min term will have, it takes a value 0. In the same way, now can you guess, can you tell me for which combination this min term will have 1? For which particular combination this min term will have 1? A is in uncomplemented form. So if A is in uncomplemented form, then A value is 1. B is also in uncomplemented form, so B value is 1. C is in complemented form, so C is 0. For A equal to 1, B equal to 1, C equal to 0, for this combination, for this input combination, this min term will have 1. For all other 7 combinations other than this input combination, for example, if A equal to 0, let's see, if A equal to 0, what happens? If you write down here 0, B1, C0, 0, 1, C bar 1, right? If at least one term is 0 in the product term, then the whole product becomes 0. Other than this A1, B1, C0, this min term will get a value 0. For only this particular combination, this min term will have 1. So what is the property that min term has? Out of 8 combinations, it has only one combination which yields the min term a value 1. For rest of the combinations, it has a value 0. It assumes a value 0. The same thing here. So for what values of A, B, C, this min term will get a value 1. For which combination of A, B, C, this min term will get a value 1. For A equal to B, sorry, for A equal to 1, B equal to 1, C equal to 1. Why? All the literals are in uncomplemented form. So A value equal to 1, B value equal to 1, C value equal to 1. For this combination, A, B, C, this min term will have a value 1. For any other combination other than this one, will have a value 0. So now let's read this again. A min term assumes a value 1 for exactly one combination of input variables. For rest of the combinations, its value is 0. There exists only one combination out of 8 for a 3 variable function for which the min term will have value 1. In the same way, a max term assumes a value 0 for exactly one combination of input variables. It assumes value 0 for exactly one combination of input variables. Let's understand this property. Here we have used a function, 3 variable function again, and here its function, the function is a plus b bar plus c into a bar plus b bar plus c bar into means AND operation, a plus b plus c, and this function is having one max term. This is another max term. This is another max term. Is it really a max term? Let's see, is it satisfying the definition of max term? Max term should be sum term. Is it a sum term? Yes, a plus b plus c, something like this. So it is, the first rule is, the first requirement is, the first criteria is, for something to be a max term, for a term to be a max term, the term should be a sum term. Is it a sum term? Yes, it is a sum term. And the second criteria says it should, that the sum term should contain all the literals. Is it containing all the literals? How many literals should be there? Since f is a function of three variables, three literals should be there. And what are they? A, B, C. So it is having A literal, B literal, and C literal. Doesn't matter in which form it is there, uncomplemented form or complemented form, but it should contain all the literals. It is a sum term and it is having all the literals, so it is a max term. And see this one, it is also a sum term, it is also containing all the literals, so this is also a max term. Look at the third one, it is a sum term, it is also containing all the literals, so it is a max term. Now see, for which combination this max term will become 0? So if a is, so 0 means it is a sum term. This sum term becomes 0 only when this is 0, this literal is 0, this literal is 0, this literal is 0. Okay, means if a equal to 0 and b bar is equal to 0, if b bar is equal to 0, what is the need requirement for b? B equal to 1. Only then b bar becomes 0 and c equal to 0. If a is equal to 0, b equal to 1. Why b equal to 1, not 0? Because b is in complemented form. And c equal to 0 for these input combinations, for a equal to 0, b equal to 1, c equal to 0, this max term becomes 0. If we consider all other, any other combination, then this max term will get a value 1. For example, what is the value of this max term? For a equal to 1, b equal to 1, c equal to 0, a equal to 1 means this 1 plus. Doesn't matter the other rest of the literals. Doesn't matter what value these literals will have. Since a is 1, 1 plus anything is 1 according to our operation definition. So this literal will have a 0 only for this particular combination. This max term will have a 0 only for this particular input combination. For all other 7 combinations, this literal will have a value 1. So that is the property. What is that property? Max term will have 0 only for 1 exactly. The max term will have exactly for one the max term will have 0 only for one combination, one input combination. For all other input combinations, its value is 1. In the same way, tell me for what input combination this max term will get a value 0. 0 means this literal should be 0, this literal should be 0, this one should be 0. For what a bar becomes 0. For what a bar becomes 0, a equal to 1. Since it is in complemented form, needed a value is 1. It is also in complementary form, so b value is 1. For c bar to be 1, we need c to be 1, right? So for a equal to 1, b 1, c 1, for this particular combination, out of 8 possible combinations, input combinations, this max term will get a value 0. Now in the same way, for a, b, c, all are in uncomplemented form. So for a0, b0, c0, for this particular input combination, this max term will get a value 0. Other than this combination, then this literal becomes 1. For a given switching function and for given rules of the input variables. And let's talk about these things. All the minterms that have the value 1 are called true minterms. All the minterms which are having the value 1 are called true minterms. All the minterms that have the value 0 are called false minterms. We will understand these things. All the maxterms that are having value 1 are called true maxterms. All the maxterms that are having the value 0 are called false maxterms. Let me read out again. All the minterms which are having the value 1 in the Boolean function are called true minterms. In the Boolean function, the minterms that have value 0 for a given function, they are called false minterms. For the given Boolean function, all the maxterms that have the value 1 are called true maxterms, which are having 0 are called false maxterms. We will explain this with the following example. Now consider this function. This is the Boolean function, given Boolean function, x bar y plus xyz, xyz plus x bar y. Now is it this term, is it a max term? Sorry, is it a min term? Min term should be a product term. Of course it is a product term, and it should also have all the literals. Is it having all the literals? The function is a 3 variable function and the variables are xyz. Here we have xyz, and in the first term it is not having, z is missing here. So first term is not a min term, the second term is a min term. And if you want, and we can convert this a non-min term into min term. A non-min term into min term. If there is a term which is not a min term, we can convert that min term, we can convert that non-min term into min term by doing this procedure. We will see it again later. For now, you consider this. So x bar y, what is missing here? Z is missing. Now what we can do is x bar y, that missing literal can be written like this. Missing literal is z, so we have to write z plus z bar. What happens? What is z plus z bar? Z bar value 1. If you multiply 1 with something x bar y, that doesn't change. That doesn't change the value answer. So we can do it. X bar y can be multiplied with 1. That one is z plus z bar. That one is missing literal. Z plus z bar. Z plus z bar. What is z plus z bar? Always 1. So it is nothing but multiplying x bar y, which is this, with 1, where 1 is z plus z bar. That doesn't change the result. So we can do it very well. Plus xyz, this is as it is. X bar yz, now use distributive property. X bar yz plus x bar y z bar plus xyz. Now see, if you see now, this function and the function given, in the function given, this term is not min term. Now after converting, this is the resultant function. They are exactly same. Now each and every term here is a min term. Now x bar yz is a min term. X bar yz bar is also a min term. Xyz is also a min term. So for these values, for this terms, the function f will have value 1. For this, either x bar yz is 1 or x bar yz bar is 1 or xyz is 1. The function f will have a value 1. So x bar yz is a true min term and x bar yz bar is also a true min term. Xyz is also a true min term. There are 3 true min terms for this f. For other combinations means how many other combinations exist for 3 variable function? Totally there are 8 combinations. 8 min terms are possible. 8 min terms. like 0, 0, 0, like that. We have 8 minterms possible for this 3 variable function. Out of 8 minterms, only these are true minterms. False minterms are other than these 3. For example, x bar, y bar, z bar is not in the true minterm list. So x bar, y bar, z bar is a false minterm. For that minterm x bar, y bar, z bar, the function will have a value 0. So of course x bar, y bar, z bar is a minterm, but x bar, y bar, z bar, the required value is 0. Next, another example, f of x comma y comma z. This is the function x plus y into y plus z. Now, it is a sum expression or product expression? It is a sum term. It is also another sum term. Now, of course, it is a sum term, but it is having all the literals as that of a max term definition. No. What is missing here? F is a function of 3 variables, x, y, z. Z is missing in this sum term. And if you look at the second sum term, x is missing in the second sum term. So if neither this nor this is a max term actually. So we can convert this non-max term into a max term by doing the following. It is a sum term already. So what we do is x plus y, by adding 0 to the sum term, that doesn't alter the result. So we can do it very well. X plus y. What is the missing literal here? Z is missing literal. Z into Z bar is what? Z into Z bar is 0 always. It is one of the rule that we have discussed earlier. Z bar is 0. So we're adding 0 to x plus y. That doesn't alter the result. So we can do it. X plus y plus Z bar. That is Z is missing in this term. So in the same way, in this sum term, what is missing? X is missing. So x bar is 0. So 0 is added to y plus z. That doesn't alter the result. Now by using distributive law, x plus y plus z bar can be written like this. X plus y plus z, x plus y z bar. By using distributive law, this can be expanded like this. In the same way, x plus y plus z, this is this term. X bar plus y plus z, that is this term. This and this, they're exactly one and the same. Although this one looks a lengthy expression, both expressions yield the same output, same logical output. Now let's see. Now if you see these terms, all of them are max terms. This is a sum term and it is containing all the literals. This is also a sum term. It is containing all the literals. So all these 4 are max terms. So true max terms are, this is one max term. There are 4 max terms. All these are true max terms. And other than this, how many max terms possible for 3 variables? 8 max terms. And 4 are for this function. 4 are true max terms. Rest of all the other 4 max terms, which are false max terms, I have not written here. Tell me one example. Sorry, 3 are there. Although this x plus y plus z is repeated twice, so you consider only one, x plus y plus z. There are only 3 true max terms. Remaining 5 are false max terms. Okay, tell me one example. X bar plus y bar plus z bar is one false term. False max term. Like that, you can write down all the 5 other max terms. Now let's understand the min terms and max terms with one example. How min terms and max terms can be used to get the expression with the help of truth table, by using the truth table. So the problem is full adder problem. Now the question is, the task is, we have to develop circuit, a full adder circuit. What is full adder? The circuit which adds 3 variables. A full adder adds 3 bits, not variables, 3 bits. 3 bits. The circuit that adds 3 bits is called full adder, and we are generalizing it. Those 3 bits are A, B, C, and how many bits, how many output bits it will have? 2 output bits. One is sum bit, other one is carry. A circuit that takes 3 inputs, 3 bits, and produces 2 outputs. In the outputs, one output is sum bit, other output bit is carry bit. The circuit is said to be a full adder. Now, that is the problem given. Now, how do you answer this? First of all, you assume all the combinations and see the values for sum and carry. Means we have to get the truth table out of the given problem. That is the very first step. So write down A, B, C, which are the inputs. Write down all the possible combinations that these variables take on. Now this is the sum which is written here. This is the carry. If all the 3 bits are 0, what is the sum? 0. What is the carry? 0. If 0, 0, 1, sum is 1, carry 0. 0, 1, 0, sum 1, carry 0. This is already, we talked this already in binary addition. 0, 1, 1, sum 0, carry 1. 1, 0, 0, sum 1, carry 0, like this. For A, B, C to be 1, so we have sum 1, carry 1. Now we have to develop circuit to which if you apply any of these inputs, it produces the output as shown in this truth table. Now next step is to convert this truth table into a valid expression, Boolean expression. First of all, how do you convert this truth table into a valid Boolean expression? Like this. Okay, that is our next step in order to build the circuit for adder. First thing is the problem. What is the problem? Building the full adder. What is the next step? That is the question. What is the first step? Building the truth table. That is the first step. In the second step, what we do is we transform the truth table into a valid Boolean expression like this. This is sum expression. This is carry expression. And after writing down the valid Boolean expression, in the second step, we minimize the Boolean expression. If you try to implement this Boolean expression as it is, it works fine, but it may be complex. It may need many AND gates, OR gates, and so on. Still, there is room for minimizing the circuit complexity without changing the output. Okay. In the second step, we convert this truth table into valid expression. In the third step, we simplify the expression if it is possible for simplification. Many times it is possible for simplification. And in the first step, we build the circuit out of the simplified expression. That is the final step. Right? Now we are doing the second step. What we are doing is we are converting this truth table into a valid Boolean expression. Let's see how to convert the truth table into a valid Boolean expression. Now look at for which combinations, for which input combinations, for what input combinations, the sum. Now there are 2 outputs for the full adder. One is sum output, other one is carry output. So we will have one expression for sum, another expression for carry. Now what is the expression for sum? Now we have to look for the combinations for which the sum is 1. Now 0, 0, 1 gives us a sum 1. 0, 1, 0 for A0, B1, C0 gives us a sum 1. And for A1, B0, C0 gives us a sum 1. For A1, B1, C1 gives us sum 1. For these 4 combinations, the sum is 1. For other combinations, the sum is 0. So we consider only these combinations, and these are the combinations used to write down the expression for sum. Now how to write? Either this combination, either A0, B0, C1, or A0, B1, C0, or A1, B0, C0, or A1, B1, C1, either this or this or this or this. Anyone is for any of these combinations. Just now we said for any of these combinations, output means sum is 1. Any means either this or this or this or this. This means when the sum will get 1, A0, B0, C1. How do you write A0, B0, C1? A0 means A bar, A bar. If A is 0, we write it's uncomplemented. So how we are transforming this? Since A is 0, B0, C1, A bar, B bar, C. A bar, B bar, C. This is a one min term. When A is 0, B is 0 and C is 1, then this will have 1. Not only here, not only for this input combination, this is also for this also. For A0, B1, C0. For A0 means A bar, B1 means B, C0 means C bar. Not only for this, there is another combination for which the sum also becomes 1. What is that combination? A1, B0, C0. How do you write this? A, B bar, C bar. That is written here. A, B bar, C bar. Not only this, this A, B, C, that is written here. If any of this is 1, if any of this is true, then yes, is true. Either this or this or this or this means what operation is to be done? OR operation. Plus. That's why we get plus here. Either this term or this term or this term or this term is 1, then yes is 1. Either this or this or this or this means what should be written? What operation to be performed in between all this? OR operation. So that is how we get the sum term. Next, in the same way, how do you get the C term? Look at for what combinations C will have 1. Here A bar BC, that is A bar BC, and one more here A B bar C, that is A B bar C. Next A B C bar, A B C bar. Next another combination A B C. So for any of this means either this or this or this or this. So we write plus in between. So this is the expression required for C. If you want to realize a circuit for carry, then you have to build the circuit according to the expression, according to this expression.